Chris Gorney here with Mountain High Adventures. Here's my official Saucony Peregrine 11 trail running shoe review. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hey, real quick before we jump into this shoe review, friends, I have to say that I am not sponsored by Saucony. This is my own shoe review for you guys, just to give you my personal opinion. I'm not necessarily a shoe guru, but I do love my trail running shoes and I do get out and put a lot of hard miles on them. So I'm gonna give you guys some honest feedback here. Check it out. I did do a photo shoot not too long ago with Saucony, and I got to try on 3 pairs of the new Peregrine 11s and 3 different outfits for running, and I have to say that I really liked all the clothing. It was all comfortable and actually pretty stylish, and the shoes were out of this world. One more quick shout out to Mark at Red Rock Running Company here in Las Vegas. He's the one that hooked me up with these Saucony Peregrine 11s to try out, test run, and give honest feedback. I'm gonna be doing an interview with him soon, and he's gonna ask me a lot of questions, and we're gonna dive into this shoe probably a little bit deeper than I do in this shoe review video. But shout out Mark, thank you, Red Rock Running Company, for your running needs in Las Vegas. Okay, so if you guys follow the channel, several videos ago I made an unboxing of this specific pair of Saucony Peregrine 11s. I was over in Death Valley, and I opened these up, took them out of the box, and gave them a quick test run. My initial impression was I really liked them. I thought they're super stylish, the colorway was pretty dope, and they felt just really good, comfortable right out of the box. Aside from that first quick test run, the very first real run I did in these was a Death Valley rim to rim crossing. I also made a video about that adventure. It wound up being, I think, like 42 miles or something. 12,000 feet, or no, more like, sorry, it was like 17 or 18,000 feet of vertical gain in one push, pretty much out of the box. And these Peregrines totally stood up to the test. I was really impressed. I've had older versions of the Peregrine, the 7s and the 8s, and they were a little soft and malleable for my taste. And when the terrain got rugged, they just didn't quite give me enough support. My feet would kind of get banged up around the edges, and the upper on those older models used to wear out really quick. I would scrape, you know, the outsides of my feet and my toes on brush and rocks and things like that as I was out running, and the uppers would get worn through and even tear holes, and my toes were coming out of the sides of the shoes like just a couple hundred miles into them. A little more on the upper on the Peregrine 11s. As I mentioned, they used to wear out fairly quickly, and specifically my little toe would wear through the shoe after just brushing on rocks and brush and things like that. But I've probably put 300 to 400, maybe 400 plus miles on these Peregrines, and a lot of those miles have been pretty rugged, off-trail type of miles, even a lot of scrambling and stuff. And I'm happy to report that the uppers on these are still completely intact. My toes have not been exposed or scraped up, and the upper is still pretty much full, you know, intact around the whole front end of the shoe. I haven't worn through it at all. So big plus to Saucony for working on that upper, getting some stronger materials so that we're not wearing through those and getting our toes exposed. Another thing I'd like to mention about this Saucony Peregrine 11 is the carbon fiber rock plate beneath the shoe, in the sole of the shoe. They've had this carbon fiber weave for several generations of this Peregrine, and I don't know if they've changed it or anything, but it seems more solid now. I remember running downhill in older versions, and I could feel some sharper rocks on the bottoms of my feet when I was really jamming full speed downhill. But in these new 11s, I really haven't experienced that. Maybe on some of the toughest terrain, moving as fast as I can kind of feel some of the sharper rocks below my feet, but 95% of that is muted out with this carbon fiber rock plate. So I'm digging that. The bottoms of my feet are not tender after hard runs. These shoes are protecting them on that front. I have to say again that right out of the box, these shoes were quite comfortable. I don't remember getting any blisters on that first 40 some odd mile effort across Death Valley. So that's pretty nice. They're very comfortable, a little on the squishy side for my taste, but again, when I really put them to the test, they still held up to some of that harder kind of beating on, you know, rugged and fast types of descents and things like that. So Although they're lightweight and they're not, you know, a super long distance type of shoe, they actually did provide a lot of protection for my feet underneath with the rock plate, around the toe box and everything. I was quite pleased with how protected my feet have been in these shoes. And last but not least, I wanted to talk a little bit about the scrambling capabilities with this shoe. You guys know I love to do a lot of off-trail, steeper terrain, scrambling, even low fifth, sometimes free soloing stuff. The Peregrines, again, exceeded my expectations on steeper terrain. The rubber that they're using is not the Vibram grip or that really stealth rubber that you find on rock climbing shoes or approach shoes. But they are using a little bit better, more sticky rubber now, and I was feeling better purchase, like scrambling out here in Red Rock Canyon on the sandstone. I was getting a little better feel. I have to say, when the rock is slick though, this rubber tends to slip a little bit. So I have found other shoes where on slick rock, the rubber still does get a little bit more of a grip, whereas these Peregrines can be a little slippery, especially if they get wet. That is one of the downfalls of this shoe. If this rubber gets wet, you're really not gonna get that great of a purchase. They do have really good lugs, so you get some good traction, I guess, when they're wet, but they do tend to kind of slip on various types of terrain when they're wet or when the surface that you're walking on is slick. So overall official Peregrine 11 trail running shoe rating, guys, I'm gonna give these a 5 out of 5 stars. That's super generous, but they exceeded my expectations. They held on a little longer than I thought they would. They provided more protection than I thought they would, and I've been really pleased with them. There really hasn't been a downside, other than maybe some of that steeper scrambling terrain, but this is a trail running shoe. I wasn't expecting much in that realm anyway. So I'm gonna give them a 5 out of 5 as a trail running shoe. If you want to dive into more of the off-trail scrambling kind of terrain, I would probably give them only a 3 out of 5 stars, which is still a pretty good rating, but they just don't perform quite as well when the terrain is super nasty. But if in that in-between space, when you get into the running miles, they're fantastic. So they're still getting a 3 out of 5 as a off-trail scrambling type of shoe, and then full on 5 out of 5 as a trail runner, guys. I would run in these shoes from any distance from a 5K to a 50K and be confident that my feet are gonna be comfortable and protected the entire way. Feel free, guys, to ask me some questions down in the comments below if I haven't addressed something about this shoe that you're curious about. Like I said, I'm not a super awesome shoe guru, but I do put shoes to the test on my adventure runs. So that's my personal opinion about this Saucony Peregrine 11. Leave me a comment below if you have any more questions. I'd be happy to answer them. Also, if you like outdoor adventure videos, trail, ultra running, and mountain climbing, go ahead, smash that red subscribe button over there in the corner. Give me a like or a thumbs up and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload new videos to the channel. Okay, that's gonna wrap up this Mountain High Adventures YouTube episode. Thanks again for tuning in, my friends. Many more adventures to come. And I'm out! Whee!